What's up, guys? I'm Joe, and this is the Az Westside Wheelers, and today we're going to be testing out some Keegan Tool ropes. Stick around. Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be testing out some Keegan Tool Kinetic recovery ropes. Now, we had a heck of a time getting one of these things stuck. They're built to be not stuck. We daisy chained to the back and let him bury this thing in pretty good. He can't get out of his own tire tracks now. So we're going to test these recovery ropes. We're going to show you several things today. We're going to show you how to pick the right recovery rope for your right vehicle. And I'm going to utilize my awesome crew, because I have vehicles from every range of weight class, and Keegan Tools covers all those weight classes. So if you stick around in the video, we're going to show you how to pick the right recovery rope and how to use them safely. Okay, guys, I'm ready to explain to you how to pick the right rope for your right rig. So over here we have a Cherokee. This one, we're going to guess at about 3,700 pounds, which is generous over a stock weight. And that's going to be kind of based on his upgrades. I've kind of done some math. And then next, we're going to work with the Yoda. I'm going to guess him right close to 39, maybe even 4,000, pretty close to that range. This is going to be your 7/8 rope. That's going to be your 3/4 inch rope. So up from there, we're going to move over to White Widow. White Widow is going to be rolling in somewhere around 5,000 pounds. That's going to be what I would consider the max of a 7/8 rope. I wouldn't go much bigger than that. And I'm guessing around 4,000 for this one. So that one, I'm going to max out at about 3,900 pounds. I wouldn't do much more than 3,900 on that rope. It says the working load limit is 4,500. I like to give myself a little leeway in case you're stuck real hard, or sometimes there's suction from mud and that can cause extra weight to be added to that. So you want to be safe and work under your working load limit. And I'll go over those load limits in another spot, and I'll break them all down for you on a screen where it's easy to see. So then we're going to move over to Mambo. He is going to be probably somewhere about 54, 55 maybe. I mean, he's got fridges, all the skids, long arms. He's got all the armor. He's got a lot of weight. He's going to be in the 1-inch category. The last time I weighed Monstro out, this pig weighed in at like 55. And I've put 40s and a ton of other things on it. I'm going to guess him about 6. That's going to be our 1-inch rope. So we're going to stay in our working load limit of the 1-inch rope, and we're going to just test these ropes out and see if we're in that range we want to be. We're looking for that kinetic stretch. You don't want to have too much rope. Now, if I were to hook this big giant 1-inch rope to that little tiny Jeep over there, it would feel like I was hooked to a chain or a solid strap. There's no kinetic energy, which is what helps give you that nice cushy give feel. So we're going to show you how to pick the right size for the right rig by testing them out and making sure we got our numbers correct.
Now let me break this down a little more for you. When they say braking strength, In this first photo, it shows you that you need to multiply that by 3.5, or actually that would be divide that. So say the rope that is 16,000 pounds breaking strength, that works out to a 4,571 pound working load limit, and so on. As you can see in this next picture, I broke it all down for you. So you want to stay within your safe working load limit to be able to not worry about it when you're stuck in the mud and have a lot of suction.
Well, here we go. We're going to show you how to hook this thing up safely. While we do that, I'm going to talk a little bit about the rope. This is a 1-inch rope. This thing's going to have a 30,000 pound breaking strength and a working load limit of 8,500 pounds. So you want to take this down here. You'll put your loop end through. They're always a little stiff when they're new. Now, when you hook this up, you see how that pulls on the knot? You want to make sure your knot is hooked up correctly. When it does, when it pulls, it'll only make it tighter. It's only going to cinch down tighter on this knot, and it's never going to come loose on you. Now, you hook it to the other end, and you let the rope do some of the work. This thing's rated probably 5,500 pounds. With this rope, a smaller vehicle should be able to pull him out easier versus just using a normal strap. So one of our little guys would have a tough time pulling this big rig out with a strap, but with a kinetic rope, it should actually give energy and help pull you out easier. So we're going to demonstrate how that happens by hooking one of the little guys up to this one and see how it does. I just noticed this, and after doing a bunch of research, see all this lashing? Even though it doesn't look like much, along with this, make sure this is up all the way. This is actually going to keep your eyelet from being split apart in a really tough situation. Like if you got a buddy in the mud deep down and in it, it'll split this eyelet. That right there is going to help do it. Good job, Keegan Tools. See, he's locked up 488 gears and a Rubicon transfer case, and he ain't going nowhere. So we're going to show you if Scrappy can pull him out. We're going to let Scrappy do it on his own with a strap. Just your basic, everybody's got one. You do not want to hit these at tension. So he's in 4 low. We're going to have him just ease into it, and you're tight. Go ahead. See, he's just getting stuck. Go ahead. Nope. Dexter's even helping. Both of you go. Nope. Okay, now back it up and we're gonna try the Kinetic. So we used the strap first. So now we're gonna try the Keegan Tools Kinetic rope. Again, this thing is rated for about 8,500 pounds. So it comes with a sheath in case you need to put it over a rock. There's also sheaths on the eyelets and a sheath on the soft shackles that you can put in places that might chafe. Now, here's where the difference is with the Kinetic rope. He can give it a little bounce. Go forward just a little.
Gotta find the end of the rope first. Back up a little bit.
Go forward. You go forward until you find the end of the rope. Keep going. Okay, there's your rope. Now back it up a little. About 2 foot. Good. Good. Now give him a little bounce. Back it up. Okay, forward a little. Good. Now bounce him. And that's a Kinetic rope. The kinetic energy took that little 4,300 pound ride and pulled 5,600 out of some holes that are 37 inches deep. That's kinetic energy. Okay, so what we just did here well, showed you what it takes to kind of get a truck buried. These things are not meant to be buried. I mean, we work real hard to get them to where they can crawl out of anything. But I'm going to show you what we can do with just a vehicle pulling. Now, the reason you'd use different ropes is if you were to hook that 1-inch rope to this tiny little Toyota, we would yank his fillings out. It'd be like being hooked to a chain. It'd just rip it clean out. Now, if you're hooking a big Jeep like Mambo up to it, then you're going to have an issue. You're going to rip it really, really hard. And if your rope is too small, you're just going to snap your rope. So you want the proper rope, and it'll give you the right amount of tug. This one's going to be a 7/8 rope. So when you're hooking these up, you always want to make sure your sheaths are on your dangerous points. Anywhere it's going to sheath, anywhere it's going to cut or have issues. And I would make sure this rubber is all the way up, because that actually helps keep your eyelet. Your middle, if you have a rock or anything in there, Keegan's hooked you up. Looks like we're safe to go. The Toyota is going to be in neutral, so he's not even going to be helping at all. He's got twin sticks in that thing. It wants to crawl out of just about anything, so he's going to give it just a little bump, and it should just pull him right out. Tight! Now he'll back it up just a little, and a bump. Nope. Yep. Oh, you got it! Yeah. Good. That's a good test of a rope right there. Gave it a nice solid hit and then kept tugging. Nice. Everything seems to be intact. No issues. No tears. Soft shackles are holding up nicely. These are coated. That's really nice. The rope, I'm not seeing any frays. That's a hard hit. I mean, for the size, I'm guessing that probably almost maxed out the weight rating of this because of him being stuck and not helping. That adds weight. Like being stuck in the mud, it's a suction thing. So we'll check this other side. You can feel it got hard right here, okay? Like this end's a little harder, but you work it a little bit and it's reflexible again. Absolutely no issues, no tears. Good, looks good. I'll tell you what, these ropes are holding up. We're gonna test them out this year during wheeling season. Every time we need a Kinetic rope, we're gonna be using one of these Keegan Tool ropes, and we're gonna just really put them to the test and see how they work. Stick around, we're gonna have more for you. Show you how to put this back in the bag. One end, Keegan Tools recommended this is how the easiest way they found to put them back in. And you just kind of feed it in. You should have enough room in here to get the entire rope along with your soft shackles. We shall see. This is a 30-footer, so there's a lot of rope to pack up. So looks like we're almost at the end, and there we go. Put your soft shackles in there. Look at that. 2 soft shackles in a bag. Puts it right back in your recovery bag, and away you go. Let's talk a little bit about safety. You want to hook up to a safe recovery point. You don't want to hook up to something that is not completely attached If you're pulling on this, this will come flying at your face. This hunk of steel right here will kill you. In a heartbeat, this will kill you. It'll kill your family. It'll hurt everyone around. Having it secured with a pin, locked down, and a solid loop, not a hook. You don't want just a loose hook. It depends on what you're doing also. Now, if you're just stuck a little bit in the sand, a little hook like this, you can hook to that and just pull somebody out. But if you're on a steep hill and that vehicle is immobilized and all you have to hook to is a half-hearted little hook, that's not gonna save people's lives. If it hops off and falls, you're dead. Solid loops. If you don't have these, you want to look for some type of receiver hitch. They make them in a receiver hitch, or we have a couple other options to show you for weld-on style that are on the bumpers, like back here on Scrappy. This right here is Scrappy. This is a JK bumper on a WJ, but ARB makes these. I mean, that's what, 1-inch steel? It's not going anywhere. That's a solid loop. So you would want something like that and a D-ring to be safe. Safe D-rings. Over here, safe D-ring. You want safe recovery points to pull off of. If you were to put a receiver hitch and a ball, that ball can snap off and the whole hitch can fly and hit you in the face and kill you, come through your windshield, or it can slip off and come flying at you. People can get hit with this rope coming because it's kind of like a big rubber band. So you want a safe recovery point anytime you're recovering. We'll show you an option that is safe for only certain circumstances. Now we're going to talk about what I call a semi-safe recovery point. Jeep puts these on there and it's just a hook, which is fine if you're out here in the sand just stuck with your buddies. But if Drax here was immobilized and hanging halfway off a cliff, I would not want to hook this and try and pull on him. Now see, the rope might slip off. If there's a little bit of slack, it can come right off. Now your friends are headed down the hill and they're dead. You always want to be safe. These are people's lives at stake. Safety first. These are not going to be an every situation thing also. Like there's times where you need to winch. For safety, you want to winch. For the most part, these are going to be off-road recovery's go-to. I want to go over one more bit of safety for you. With any kind of soft shackles, you want to inspect them all the time. With these D-rings, you want to make sure that your pin is nice and tight. Tighten it down with a screwdriver, pair of pliers, whatever. You want to pull this out. Inspect for any cracked welds, any issues, any flaws like that. Get rid of it and get a new one. You want to make sure your pin's in and your cotter pin is in place. All these things are going to be super important. Now, with that being said, you've seen what these Keegan Tool Kinetic ropes can do. I am very impressed with the way they've held up. This little tiny XJ just yanked out a 6,000-pound rig on 40s. Fully armored up, deep in some holes. That's impressive. No issues. We've tested out every size they have. They have 3/4, 7/8, 1-inch. We're going to do a little bit more testing soon on a great big one. That's a 1 1/4. That's going to be for anything 10,000 pounds plus. We're going to have to bring a 1-ton out here and get that thing stuck and see what we can do with it. But we're going to do it. So that might be a different video, or it might just be a little bit later on.
As you can see here, they have several different items on their website. And as you get down here, you can see the different ropes that we've shown you today, along with the soft shackles. All of these can be found on the Amazon link in our description below.
So we appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share, comment down below. We want to hear from you guys. And as always, stay wheeling.